This video explains the criteria assigned summative on a water cycle story. So here is the Google Slides that you are to complete. Just to let you know, to complete this assignment, this Google Slides assignment, you will need to complete 1 to 7, and that will give you a highest score of 6. For you to get a high score of 8, you will need to complete this Google Slides and create a booklet of your water cycle story. Okay, so this video is to explain how to complete this Google Slides for the highest score of 6. All right, so let's go to slide 1. Slide 1 is filling out the path of your water, molecule, and the facts. And you are using the water cycle gizmo that looks like this. Okay, so there's the water cycle gizmo. And you may choose any location on the right side. So here's the list on the right side, and you can use any location. Choose 6 because that is the limit of the booklet, the pages of the booklet. With the water cycle, it can go on and on and on because it's a cycle, right? But for our purposes, you just need to choose 6 paths, 6 steps for your path. All right, so for example, I'm going to choose clouds first, and every time you choose something, some facts, some information about the water cycle pops up. All right, so I'm going to continue, and then I'm going to go choose precipitation, snow, and then I'm choosing ice, snow, right? And I am choosing atmosphere, and then I am choosing clouds, and I am choosing rain. Okay, so that's my path, and I can see my list on here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this list and put it in the first slide in the second column of this first slide. So I have filled out the path of the water molecule using the gizmo. So I have transferred it over onto this first slide. Now for the third column, you will need to fill out the facts that you see for each location, right? So you go back to the phases, and you go back to the simulation. Remember your list, right? And now you're going to, I go reset. If I go back to the first thing on my list is clouds. Okay, that's where my water molecule starts from for my story. And here is the information that I can use for the fact column, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, there's 2 sentences. I'm going to just get 1 sentence, and I'm going to copy that over into my slide 1 fact column. So after I have copied the one for my first step, which is clouds, and here's the fact I got from the gizmo. Now I go on to my next steps. So for each step, I'm going to choose a fact from the gizmo to copy it over. So my next step is precipitation. So I go to precipitation, which is precipitation, snow, and I can choose I can choose to choose the first sentence to copy it over on here. And then I'll just keep moving on for the rest of my steps. So I have filled out my slide 1 with all of my 6 steps for the path of water and all of the facts, all of the information that I have found for each location using the water cycle gizmo. Right, so that's slide 1. So moving on to slide 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you are now creating your storyboard for your water cycle story. So you will need to fill out 6 pages. right? That's why there's 6 slides. There's 6 steps. So each step corresponds with a step on your slide 1. So just to make it easy for you, make sure that you write down the location for each step. So for example, I'm going to write down my location for my step 1 is clouds, and then my step 2 is precipitation, snow. So I'm going to do that for all of my steps, for all of my 7 slides. So I have put in my path, my locations for each step according to my first slide. Okay, so I have step 1 is clouds, step 2 is precipitation, snow, step 3 is ice/snow, step 4 is atmosphere, step 5 is clouds, and step 7 is precipitation, rain. These are my path, right? This is Mrs. Howe's path, not yours. So don't copy my path, please. You have your own path. All right, so let me show you how to complete each slide, each step. This has 3 boxes in it. One is for your fact, one is for your drawing, and another one is for your story. All right, so let's start with the facts. That's the easiest one because you already have that in your slide 1. So what you're going to do is you're just going to copy down, take this out, you're going to copy down the fact from slide 1 and you're going to insert that into the corresponding slides. So do that for all of your 6 slides, all of your 6 steps. I've copied all of my facts, all of my information for each slide from my slide 1. I have copied all of these into the corresponding slides. So you can see that my box for my facts are all filled out, okay, for all of my 6 steps. Okay, the next thing that you're going to do is to draw something in your learning log that corresponds to now your story. Okay, the main thing is you're creating a water cycle story. So you're going to create drawings, right? You're going to create drawings. Make sure that your drawings of your water molecule corresponds to this scientific model of a water molecule. You can do that by looking at another gizmo called Faces of Water. And you have access to this gizmo. It looks like this. And if you drag the magnifying glass, you will see that. And if you put it onto the model of water, you will see that this is liquid water according to the legend. According to the key, right? This is liquid water, and you can see the magnified view of how water looks like. And water looks like in liquid form, it looks like this. It's a whole bunch of molecules just moving fluidly around. And a water molecule has one red circle, one red ball, and 2 white balls, right? That's the scientific model of a water molecule. That means the red one is the oxygen, and the 2 white ones are the hydrogen. That's why it's called H2O. So you need to use this model of a molecule into your drawing. All right, so I'm going to go back to my step 1. There's my step 1, and I'm going to insert my drawing of my my story in here for my step 1. So since my story is all about water molecules in the cloud, I have created this, right? So that's what I'm going to use is my water molecule, which is the scientific model of a water molecule. And I'm going to capture that, and I'm going to insert it, and I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so the last thing that I need to do is the story. Now I create the story. I'm going to make a story now based on this step. So here's my example of a story, and I'm going to type it in. All right, so this is the story of the first page of my story for my first step. on my water cycle story, right? So there was a water molecule named tubig. Tubig is water in Tagalog or Filipino. Tubig was floating around in the sky as water vapor, right? So, okay, so this shows now a completed page of a booklet of your story, right? So that's one page. You will need to do 6 pages. It corresponds to your 6 steps of your path. All right. So that is how you can complete this Google Slides. For you to get a 7-8, watch the next video that shows how to create a story booklet. And the story booklet is this, right? That's an example. And the next video will show you how to do it so you can get a 7-8.